Welcome, my name is Jake Aaron, and I've been thinking about making this video for a while. I just wanted to talk about when did I know I was gay, and believe it or not, this has taken multiple tries. I don't know why I keep like messing up and like I don't feel organized in my story or how I feel about this topic, as in like how to explain it like clearly, except for in this moment I feel like I'm a little more chill. I'm not upset, I'm not ashamed about anything. It's just, there's so many different periods of like coming out, I feel, or looking back and understanding in what moments I may liked other men. So the earliest I can go to is kindergarten, so year 5 or 6. There was a boy in class that I really liked, and I felt like the other girls liked him too, and I wrote him a letter when I was a kid telling him that I loved him or something like that. I remember a small memory. I needed my mom to help me like spell. I just remember one of the girls ripping the letter for me and like reading it or whatever, and that is all I can really recall of that little story. So then flashback, going further into education, 1st grade. So I think I met that person that time, and if I didn't, it was 2nd grade. And then I've always liked that person for the rest of my elementary. If I wasn't clear, it was a newer person, not the person in kindergarten. And I felt more free, like I was able to say who I liked without being judged until like maybe 6th grade. Because the people I had around me, they were really cool about it. Even when people did call me names like gay, which was really upsetting to me at the time, because like I didn't know what that word meant, and it just felt like it was rude, and it wasn't like in a nice way, like how you describe like certain things or the way you talk to people. So that always upset me. I didn't felt like it was a good thing. Just the way I feel like the people around my age were treating me. I was thankful that growing up that I was never physically like harmed for being gay, even when I felt like everybody knew before I did, even though I knew I always liked guys, but I was too scared or whatever to say it, or uncomfortable. One of my first times where it started to get more rough would definitely be like 6th grade. I was at a birthday party. You know, I think people were saying it behind my back, and the word gay, and it got to the point where my family heard and they asked me if I was being picked on at a party, and I was really upset because I thought those people were my friends. You know, I just feel like you wouldn't go out of your way to say mean things like that at the time. And then, you know, middle school happened. For me, my area for middle school is only 2 years. I liked another guy, and it was always guys for me. Well, clearly I'm a gay person. And then I feel like I liked him for the whole year. Would never tell him, obviously, because like that's scary. Like during middle school, I felt like was the time where I also like found things on the internet, and then that was like very interesting for me to see or watch, and like oh wow, this is cool, like whatever, or like he's attractive on these sites. Then that's when I think my family found out, because they saw those things on the internet, like the history. And you know, when they asked, I was scared, so I was just like, I don't know, like just like I don't know how that got there. I was just like, I remember the moment actually finding out, because like in school they teach you like Google and like all these things and what you type in the search bar, and I was just like, oh, everybody calls me these words, so let me just type it in there. Found those sites, and I was like, okay, cool. So that's how I found out about all that stuff. During the AIMs part, there was a moment where I felt like everyone was just saying it to me, and I just wanted to know people's opinions about me. So I would ask like multiple people, do you think I'm gay? And it was like, yes, 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 yes. And it's like a couple of them were like, it's okay because my uncle is too, and I love him, and but all these other things. And I don't know, maybe because in that moment I wasn't ready to accept myself. There was like a lot of crying during that period, because I was just like, why would you think of me like this? Like, what have I ever done to, I don't know. That's just how I felt in those moments. Another piece like I felt like that hurt me was guys that I thought were my friends. I mean, we're cool now or whatever, but there was a moment where this one guy was really comfortable in his sexuality, and he told everyone that he was bi, and like everyone was like, oh, that's cool, you like men and women or whatever. But then here I am, quiet to myself, like obviously gay. I always sounded different from everyone else, and I just felt like it was just like an easy target. And a friend who whatever at the time was just like, why aren't you bi though? I mean, that's a lot cooler, and like you probably wouldn't have been picked on as much or whatever. And in that moment I was just like, I felt like it was just like another jab. I went to a different high school. My mom, my sister, and I moved, and I still had feelings for guys in high school. And you know, I want to fast forward to, let's go to graduation. I mean, during high school, I definitely was called like gay in the hallways and stuff like that, and that still hurt me. But something happened, I think around 17 to 18, where I feel like I knew, like at 17 or something. I mean, I definitely knew. I mean, I was looking at things on the internet, but when it was like, when I was about to graduate, I think we were leaving the gym because we got all organized there and we went out to the football field. But between the football field and the high school is the parking lot, and I looked back at the school and I had that moment where I was just like I'm not scared or afraid anymore, or like I looked at it, I'm like, I don't have to deal with any of these people ever again. I'll never have to worry about like the constant name calling or what people are saying about me. And I felt like with that said, like people saying what they want about you helped me learn like it just doesn't really matter. Like, so I was like, I told myself, I'm like, you know what? Yes, you are gay, and that's fine. And this is who I am going to be for the rest of my life. And no matter whatever wish or whatever thing I want in life, it's not going to change. And in that moment, with like accepting myself at graduation, that's when I became the most happiest person for me, for myself. I felt so relieved. I felt like I was drowning in like some type of chemical release. Like, no more fear, and that feeling felt so good for like a month. Like, I got to keep that awesome feeling of just acceptance and growth and just becoming a better person. And I've been happier ever since. Like, it's really, I feel like it's been sad that I had to hold it in for like 17 to 18 years, like not feeling comfortable to be my own person for that long. And then it like saddens me when like different time periods for other gay people in the world, like they couldn't come out until like 40s or 50s or even beyond, or never come out. And I felt like mine was too late, but like maybe my time was meant for when my time happened, like clearly. And I just felt like I'm thankful for that experience, as in like being a gay person, because I think if I wasn't gay, that I would never have that moment of growing as a human being. Like just truly accepting yourself. I feel like accepting yourself is like the coolest thing ever. I feel like it helps me just be more confident and be just more myself and do things that I like. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm not hurting anyone. And I just don't understand why it was felt like it was such a negative thing. And I just don't know if other people get to have that same type of like self-growth, self-acceptance, like, I've had this conversation with fellow like LGBTQ people. And I was like, when did you know and did you feel that, like, growth? and most of their answers were yes, and that was amazing. And I was just like, I've asked a straight person, I was like, what was your self-growth? And I felt like I never really got an answer, or they don't really know. So I didn't really want to make that about them, but I was just saying, like, I'm glad for that. And I felt like, but there is one negative thing I feel like that came from it. I feel like I accept things quicker. Like, you're mad at me, I'm like, okay, yes, we can have a conversation to make it better, but I'm just like, I feel like if you're mad, you need to go through that feeling, and then we could talk about it, and hopefully you can move on for that. But like, I just feel like I gotta keep on moving in a respectable way. I'm not discarding how you felt, but I just feel like, okay, you're mad, you'll go through it, you'll experience it, and then you'll move on. And if you choose to hold on to that, then I feel like that's your problem. Like, you want to stay in that feeling, that's fine. I mean, like, I understand there's moments where I felt sad and I just want to feel it, and after I feel it for a little bit, like, okay, like, this is what made me sad, and then we just move on. Like, life is too short to just stay in one place at one time for too long. So I mean, it's really up to you in a way, or like in your environment. I know not all of our situations are the same, and going back to what saddens me is that not everyone else got to have that experience where like your family and friends accepted you. I was so thankful because my mom have asked me a few times and I just wasn't ready to say it, but she was ready for me to say it a long time, and I don't think she definitely has never loved me any less. I'm thankful that she's always loved me. I never thought that my family wouldn't love me, but I knew that there's other people that don't get that, and it's really sad and it hurts me that other people didn't get to have that same welcoming or hug or just love in their life. And I just could not imagine being kicked out of my home just for being gay or different, or however you want to use that word. But yeah, I mean, I guess I always knew, and I just was scared and afraid, and I wasn't really, I think I said what I needed to say, I believe. I hope I didn't really miss out anything. I feel like I'm ready to wrap up this story. But yeah, so I mean, I think it's always been around, and I don't know what happens at the age of like child development at like 5 or 6 when you're introduced with a whole bunch of other people, and then that's what happened. Life is good, life is fine. I mean, like, it is what it is, and I'm happy. So if you made it this far, thank you. Yeah.